My name is Isidore Mika Maynes, but people call me Izzy. I go by Gokai Platinum, and sometimes people just shorten that to Platinum or Plat. Hello, people of the internet. Gokai Platinum here. I guess I just want to start off by saying Henshin Sunrise is mostly transgender filmmakers. We allow anybody, but most of my really close friends, who were the first people that I asked to get involved, are transgender people, and we're really proud of that fact because we think it's really good that we're putting more trans people in the public eye. Hojo Emu trans rights, Gus Mulgrim trans rights, Evil Riders trans rights. So I started out on this little podcast. It was called The Geeks Are on Fire. If you want to go look it up, you'll probably be able to see why I left. I basically said, you know what? I bet you that if I left, I could make my own podcast and I could make it better. And I left, and I did make a better podcast. Yoroshiku Yuki Ucho Keiji Gabon! Ours had better audio quality and had better video components to go along with them, but then we found out that podcasts kind of oversaturated, and then we started doing shitposts and internet memes. But then we found that was kind of oversaturated, and then we decided to make films, because if we ever made a film, we knew we could make it on our own time, if we made it good enough that people would be patient and wait for the next ones. Most of us are just old friends. If I think about like the core members of it, and I consider Henshin Sunrise to be a very big group, Rory, who also goes by Nostalgiamancer, has been one of my oldest friends. I've known them since I was 15. We've had each other's back through a lot of life changes. Mo I haven't known for quite as long, but I've known for about 7 years or so. He's quickly become one of my best friends as well. He's been a very consistent person who's been there for me. Kailyn, or in other words, Resident Homo. She also goes by Twin Blade K.
I met Gokai Platinum at a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament once upon a time in the far-off, distant past of 2009. Yeah, my life has basically just been derailed and destroyed, and there's no saving it. I love you guys.
We're sisters, not in the blood sense, but we're just sisters, plain and simple. Then there's Rose, or Moga, or Byleth.
So basically, I kind of just ended up on their couch.
We've been dating for about 5 years now. We all have a lot of roles, and I would say that I probably have the most roles. A lot of the time, I've been the one with the vision. And although that is changing a bit, so far I've been the one who usually has most of the vision, and I ask for input on that vision. And that usually means that I'm the head director, head writer, star, the main video editor, and the head producer.
I basically just help out when there's some necessity for it. It's been pretty fun. Acting is a lot more physical than I thought it was. Stubbing their toe or something, more times doing that than I have seen during construction.
I'm very happy to get to actually be a part of this. I enjoy getting to do things with people that I enjoy spending time around. I've used the word enjoy a lot. I think it's mostly rewarding because I get to do stuff with my friends. I get to make art, as questionable or controversial as that term might be.
It's an experience to put my life, the life of me and my friends that we share, to something that will outlast us. a very basic sense, we're influenced by Tokusatsu. Tokusatsu is literally Japanese for special effects. I think that it's tradition. I think that there are certain types of techniques that were done in Japan that added to the style of their movies. Godzilla would be a good example of this, the way that they use the rubber suits, the model buildings, the pyrotechnics. I think that they did it out of not having the same resources that American filmmakers had, not coming from Hollywood. They didn't develop the same techniques as Hollywood. And even with that said, not all Japanese films, especially not even all older Japanese films that started these traditions, are tokusatsu. Like, you wouldn't call an Akira Kurosawa film like Seven Samurai a tokusatsu. I would say that it started during the special effects boom of the 1960s. Most of my techniques come from there. Like, a lot of the techniques that are used in tokusatsu television shows like Ultraman, Super Sentai, and Kamen Rider, we've continued to use techniques from that time period. And so a lot of the time Tokusatsu is called Toku for short. We call ourselves like the Toku community sometimes. And so we take the term Toku and add that with YouTube to create TokuTube, the community of YouTubers who make videos about Tokusatsu. People who make reviews like Marcostsu, people who go and like explain the show like Lambo Calrissian, people who create mashup videos where they take like a lot of music and scenes from Tokusatsu shows like I Don't Get It. You know, whoever that guy is out there, you know, somewhere in the world. We have people who make their own independent Tokusatsu like Page Productions and the Immortal Red Fox. Really just about any type of creativity you can imagine somebody has done with Tokusatsu. Let's Play Kamen Rider Chronicle was mainly my idea. I admit it was based off of a joke in the Kamen Rider fandom. It's a fan series of Kamen Rider X-Aid because there was this inside joke. Kamen Rider X-Aid was a show about people who transformed using game cartridges, and there was a game inside that show called Kamen Rider Chronicle, which was this massively multiplayer online game combined with an augmented reality game, or in other words, a game where like the game is imposed over real life. Except you really transform and the bad guys like really appear in real life and you get powers to fight them. People are like, well, it'd be funny if there were people doing a let's play of that game, especially because that game is shown as being really dangerous and really unfair in X-Aid, so people like die in it. Yeah, like what if there are people just doing normal let's plays, but they're putting their life at risk to play this game? Wouldn't that be kind of like ironic and funny? And so I thought, well, there is such a thing as TokuTube, so if that was done in real life, TokuTubers would be the people playing it. And I actually thought that would make a really interesting fan series for Kamen Rider X-Aid. And so basically the premise of the show is that real-life members of Henshin Sunrise decide to do a video series, also known as a Let's Play, where they play the Kamen Rider Chronicle game, and then quickly learn how unfair it is, and then try to use their Let's Play as a way to warn people how unfair and dangerous the game is. It's kind of also a tongue-in-cheek parody of Kamen Rider X-Aid, the TokuTube community, and Tokusatsu in general. It was my idea for how the show would go, and what the show would be like, and what the format of it would be, who the characters would be. One idea that I've always put forward is there's kind of a metatextual element to Let's Play Kamen Rider Chronicle. Because the characters themselves are TokuTubers, the idea is to basically be in character as a ride player. It's like the pro wrestling idea of kayfabe. When the fans have eyes on us, we act in character.
But you did leave out one important person.
Who are you?
If it wasn't for me, none of you would even be here. You made a wish the day that KakureDaiShogun premiered. Who do you think gets those wishes granted?
I feel like a lot of people have taken to that idea. There's been other YouTubers like Gunspawner and KakureDaiShogun and Black Sniper, and I can't forget Rye Guy, my guy Rye Guy, and they've gotten to where we're all collaborating and appearing in each other's videos to generally create this idea, this metatextual idea like Kamen Rider Chronicle is a real game and there's Tokutubers out there playing it. Because we're all independent creators who are doing it for fun and are doing it with no budget, we help each other make each other's videos. Like, I even in my Discord have ways of screening people who say that they want to help and are coming forward saying that in good faith, like they mean that they really want to do it. And I let those people in on the creative process, because making movies is hard. But if we all work together, it can be a lot less hard. And so Henshin Sunrise really isn't just the core group that I was talking about. I was saying there are other people from all around the world I consider part of Henshin Sunrise. We even did a big episode called Episode G, and we invited a bunch of other Tokutubers. It kind of did start with they started helping me make my content, so I'm helping them make their content. And then I just kind of expanded that idea out to the rest of TokuTube because this community is so important to me and I want people to remember that we existed. At American River College, I am the president of a new club that just got started in the past year and a half called Transcendence. It's a club for transgender people and their allies. And one of the events that we did was the Transgender Film Festival, which was to show films that involve transgender people in some way, especially transgender women of color. We also wanted to have films that conveyed a message of hope. A lot of media having to do with trans people is very dour and depressing, and we wanted to convey the idea of hope. The runtime of the event was an hour, and we still didn't have enough films yet. And so I made my own. We made Hope Force Kibo Riders. We made the film in, like, a month, and it was very much a learning process. It was very guerrilla. It was very much like we had to come up with we were doing a lot of this on the spot, and a lot of things went wrong because we were rushing through it. So I distilled components of my personality and my friends' personalities into the characters. I wrote about situations that I and my friends had experienced as trans people. Made it about making a tokusatsu short film, because that's what we do. We're trans people that make tokusatsu short films. So it's a transgender tokusatsu short film about making a transgender tokusatsu short film. Try saying that 5 times fast.
I feel like Kibo Riders specifically is a project that is being designed to inspire other people, and so I really hope that that's exactly what people take from it.
The film finished rendering 30 minutes into the event, and I was nervous as all hell. I hadn't slept in days. I had been to the hospital at least once trying to get this film finished, due to the fact that I was mostly just pounding energy drinks and eating Taco Bell and pizza. And we showed it to an audience of about 12 people, and it got cheers, it got claps, it had people laughing, it had people... I'm pretty sure I saw at least one person tear up a bit, and, people got up and cheered at the end. I would have been thankful if people sat through the entire runtime. I would have considered that as a success. And the fact that it was actually able to touch people is probably one of the best things I could ever hope for after we put so much effort into it. And we often wonder, is anybody even going to watch this? And the fact that not only did they watch it, but they actually resonated with it, It was one of the most validating experiences I've had as not only a filmmaker, but also a transgender person and a representative of the transgender community. I couldn't possibly wish for anything better than 10 more years of making movies. And I asked everybody else about it, and they said that they are in for it too. Now, some of them may have to come and go, but Kailyn and I are definitely going to be in on it for the next 10 years. We made a promise to each other.
This is Henshin Sunrise. We run on caffeine instead of a budget.
Henshin Sunrise. We run on caffeine instead of budget.
I mean, they are running on caffeine instead of budget. It's true. We can't eat money.